Alright, here we are at the next stage of the build. We're going to be installing these pillar pods so that we can have some sound up higher in the cabin of the truck. So here we have the Epic tweeters. The pods themselves, which are going to be painted to match the interior of the car. And then the mid-range speakers, which are going to be slightly modified. We're going to grind off these tabs, make it perfectly round, and then they're going to end up probably getting epoxied into the pod so that there's no screws visible. Alright, so on to the next stage. Alright, so now that we have the pods painted to match the interior and the holes are opened up to fit the speakers that we're running, now we just have to drill out 4 holes, nut and bolt it, and then drill a hole for our wires to pass through, and then we are good to go. So as you can see, that fits right up there nice. What I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull out this whole A-pillar plastic, and I'm going to paint the whole thing so that the color matches perfect. So let's get this pillar pulled out, painted up, speakers mounted, wires ran, and see what this thing sounds like. So here we have both of the A-pillar trims pulled out. Now the passenger side used to have a grab handle, so it kind of limits a little bit to where we can put this cover on. Obviously we want to cover up those holes. So what I'll do is I'll find the sweet spot that it's covering the holes where I want it. I'm going to measure up straight from this corner to here. And then on the other side that doesn't have a grab handle, I'll measure up from the corner and put it in the same exact spot so that they're matching. So let's get that all mounted up, painted, and we will be back. Alright, let's go inside, take a peek at the pods. Everything's all back together. Speaker pods are looking nice. This one's looking good. And this is the time where we would turn the radio on and listen to the speakers. But I'm an idiot, as we all know this already. So what I did is I was trying to be cheap and not run these speakers on an amplifier. And I had them all of these and those. I had all of those wired up to the head unit to try to save a little bit of money. The plan was to run an amplifier later on down the road, but just to have them all hooked up to this. The ohm loads were fine, so it wasn't because of that. But there's no protection mode on the head unit, and it was sounding great until it didn't, and then it blew the amplifier in the head unit. So the head unit still works, turns on, all the apps in it work and everything like that. Just the output doesn't work for the door speakers. So my plan now is to get a 4-channel amp. Hopefully the RCA outputs are still okay. And then I can just run my RCAs to the amp and just run everything off of amps, which is what we were going to do down the road anyway. We're just trying to save a little bit of money. So amplifier is ordered, on the way. We'll wire that in, wire all the door speakers to that, and that'll be the upcoming video. So stay tuned for that. Sorry you can't hear anything this time, but they do look good, so there's that.